welcome to Life History Channel.
Imagine a world where one of the most infamous figures in history, Adolf Hitler, was almost never born. On April 20th, 1889, in the small town of Braunau am Inn, Austria, a baby boy entered the world. His parents, Alois and Clara Hitler, named him Adolf. He was the fourth of their 6 children, and his arrival was anything but certain. His 3 older siblings had tragically passed away during infancy, a common occurrence in the late 19th century, but no less devastating. Adolf and his younger sister Paula were the only 2 to survive into adulthood. His early years were marked by loss and hardship, a far cry from the powerful figure he would become. From these humble and tragic beginnings, no one could have predicted the path that Hitler would eventually tread. Young Adolf aspired to be an artist, a dream that was not shared by his stern father. Hitler's early life was marked by a constant tug-of-war between his own ambitions and his father's expectations. Alois Hitler, his father, envisioned a practical, civil service career for his son, while young Adolf's heart was set on painting. The tension between father and son grew with each passing year. Adolf's dreams were dismissed as fanciful, impractical, and a waste of time. His father's lack of understanding and support only fueled Adolf's determination to prove him wrong. In 1907, following the death of his father, Adolf made a bold decision. He left his small hometown of Braunau am Inn and moved to Vienna, the cultural heart of Austria, to pursue his artistic dreams. Vienna was a city of grandeur, a hub of creativity, and a beacon for artists. But it also held a harsh reality for Adolf. Life in Vienna was far from the romantic ideal that Adolf had envisioned. He was rejected twice from the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts, a blow that shattered his artistic dreams. But the struggles did not end there. Adolf found himself living in men's hostels and at times on the streets. He eked out a living by selling his paintings, but the income was meager and inconsistent. These were years of hardship and poverty, but also a period of intellectual growth. Adolf spent his time reading extensively and attending operas, developing a profound appreciation for Germanic culture and a deep-seated dislike for what he perceived as foreign elements corrupting it. This period of struggle, the conflict with his father, the rejection from the academy, the poverty and homelessness all left indelible marks on Adolf. His experience in Vienna shaped his worldview and hardened his attitudes. It was during these formative years that the seeds of his future ideologies were sown. These hardships in his formative years would later shape Hitler's ideologies and actions. World War I was a transformative period for Hitler, molding him from a struggling artist into a budding political leader. As a soldier during the Great War, Hitler experienced firsthand the devastation and loss that came with conflict. He bravely served in the trenches, dodging death and earning recognition for his courage. His decorated service, including the Iron Cross First Class, a distinction rarely awarded to a foot soldier like him, was a testament to his bravery and commitment. But the war also exposed him to the harsh realities of global politics. When the war ended, Hitler found himself in a defeated and demoralized Germany, left to grapple with the punitive terms of the Treaty of Versailles. The treaty, signed by the Allies and Germany, held the latter accountable for the war and imposed heavy reparations. This treaty was seen by many Germans, including Hitler, as a betrayal and humiliation. The brewing resentment towards the Allies and the feeling of being wronged sparked a fire in Hitler. He felt a deep-seated desire for German revenge and a need to restore the nation's honor. It was during this period that Hitler began to develop his extreme nationalist ideologies, fueled by a powerful cocktail of anger, disillusionment, and patriotism. Hitler's experiences during and after the war significantly shaped his political beliefs. His speeches began to echo his strong opposition to the Treaty of Versailles, his disdain for the Weimar Republic, and his vision for a superior German race. His fiery rhetoric resonated with many Germans who felt similarly disgruntled and betrayed. Slowly but surely, Hitler was carving out a place for himself in the political landscape. His charisma, combined with his ability to tap into the public sentiment, led him down a path that would forever change the course of history. A struggling artist was transforming into a political leader, his ideas growing more radical and his following more extensive. Hitler's political journey began in the aftermath of a war-torn Germany. In the chaos of post-war Germany, Hitler found his opportunity to ascend to power. In the tumultuous times following the First World War, the stage was set for the rise of a charismatic leader. Adolf Hitler, a decorated war veteran, saw this as his chance to rewrite the future of Germany. He joined a small political group, the German Workers' Party, which soon morphed into the National Socialist German Workers' Party, better known as the Nazi Party. Hitler's fiery speeches began to draw crowds as he blamed the country's troubles on the Treaty of Versailles, Jews, and communists. He positioned himself as the solution, the savior who could restore Germany's former glory. In 1923, Hitler and his Nazi party attempted to seize power in a failed coup known as the Beer Hall Putsch. Arrested and tried for treason, Hitler used the courtroom as another platform to spread his ideas. His time in prison was not wasted either. While incarcerated, he penned Mein Kampf, a book outlining his political ideology and future plans for Germany. After his release, Hitler worked relentlessly to rebuild the Nazi party, focusing on gaining political power through legal means. In 1933, his efforts bore fruit when he was appointed Chancellor of Germany. But Hitler wasn't content with being a mere chancellor. Within a year, following the death of President Paul von Hindenburg, he combined the offices of President and Chancellor into one, declaring himself Führer, or leader, of Germany. As Führer, Hitler held absolute power. He began implementing policies based on his racist and anti-Semitic beliefs, leading Germany into a period of aggressive expansion and ultimately sparking the Second World War. From the ashes of defeat, Hitler had manipulated his way to becoming the Führer. His rise to power was fueled by a potent mix of charisma, propaganda, and ruthless political maneuvering. It's a stark reminder of the danger that can arise when power is concentrated in the hands of a single, unchecked individual. World War II was the stage for Hitler's most heinous acts and ultimately his downfall. As the winds of war swept across the globe, Hitler's role intensified. He was not merely a participant in the war, he was its architect, its puppet master. But the puppet master's strings were tangled in a web of his own making. As the war progressed, so too did the scale and horror of the Holocaust, the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews meticulously planned and executed under Hitler's regime. This atrocity, unparalleled in its scale and brutality, remains a chilling testament to the depths of human cruelty and the dangers of unchecked power. Beyond the Holocaust, Hitler's regime committed numerous other atrocities. Millions more fell victim to his war machine, their lives extinguished in the name of a perverse ideology that valued purity over humanity, power over compassion. But as the war raged on, the tide began to turn against Hitler. The Allied forces, united in their determination to end the Nazi reign of terror, began to close in. Hitler, once seemingly invincible, was now on the back foot. He retreated to his bunker in Berlin, a rat in a sinking ship. As the Allies closed in on Berlin, Hitler, the man who had once held the world in his grip, was cornered. His dreams of a 1,000-year Reich lay in ruins, his once mighty army reduced to a shadow of its former self. And in this bunker, Hitler made his last and most cowardly act. On April 30th, 1945, he took his own life, choosing suicide over facing the consequences of his actions. On April 30th, 1945, Hitler's reign of terror ended, leaving a legacy of destruction and horror that the world continues to grapple with. His body may have been reduced to ashes, but the scars he left on humanity remain, a grim reminder of the cost of hatred and intolerance.